guys feel depressed, are you guys afraid, ashamed, prideful to text someone like a brother or whoever and be like, "This is what I'm going through," or do you guys send that text like, "Yo, this is what I'm going through"?
Through the money, designer the drip. Don't got a cap, I'm as real as it get. Bet on myself and I tripled the flip. Came from the streets, I'ma stick to the script. We popping bottles like we won a trip. Rather fill up accounts than empty a clip. 10 on the ground, so I never slip. They love you, they hate you, I'm watching them switch. Switch, 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 switch. They hate you, they love you, I'm watching them switch. Switch.
You already know what it is, your boy Chance. Be Yourself podcast. Got the brothers here. Rook, fashionably late here though. Kenzo the Great. I don't know what that was, but that's what we're doing today. So today is a special episode, and I mean, hope it's gonna resonate with a lot of y'all. So I'm gonna start off like this: from a 1 to 10. Kenny, where's your mental health at today?
Today, it was a long day. It was nothing crazy. I give it like it was a little test. Let's give it a 7.5.
Rick, where you at?
I was gonna say 8. Word. Yeah.
All right, yeah, I think I'm at an 8 too. It was a little stressful, but not that stressful to where I'm upset about anything. So let's get into it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, tell your friends, all that good stuff. If you want to be a guest too, because you got your own stuff going on, comment, let us know. So how to start off. I mean, it's obviously titled Men's Mental Health, and I think me and Rook and Plenty maybe did this
Yep.
on the previous podcast that's been remixed, but it's a stigma that's actually changed now, which is good, to where men don't really talk about mental health. Obviously, we talk about it now to an extent, and it's growing, but that used to be the thing to where we didn't really discuss what was going on because it wasn't cool. So, Rook, since you're going to be my all-star today, I'll let you run point on the situation, and we'll feed off you and go. So pick and rolls. You know what I mean? Dame letters.
Man, I'm calling it ISO. Anyway, let's piggyback that one very main important thing. Men didn't talk about it for eons. Men couldn't talk about it. It was looked at as being soft, or you're not being manly enough, or some stupid bullshit. Look, you have pain, you got emotions. There's something bothering you, whether you can't help family out, you can't provide, or you don't feel strong enough to get through your days. Like, if everybody can lean on us, who do we lean on? So shout out to the athletes, man. DeMar DeRozan and Kevin Love, and of course Dak Prescott. These guys for coming out and talking about their situations, and saying that they're going through stuff too, and they have to carry that with them into their work. Like, we all got jobs and shit. We got extracurriculars that we do, but we carry the weight of other stuff with us and apply ourselves the best that we can without letting that stuff interfere with what we're doing. And I'm glad that now we can talk about it more and be open and get help. We're not alone in this.
Darren Waller too.
Word. My man was an alcoholic for a hot minute. Shout out to Darren Waller, revived his career, married Kelsey Plum, who is a bomb baller, playing against my Liberty right now though, Kelsey, so I can't root for you. I usually do.
Let's go Aces.
Like, Vegas be my second favorite team. We're Dak talking about his his mom and her battle with cancer and not having her around, and then losing his brother, and then having to come back from the injury and play that following year. And guys like Skip Bayless talking about how he sought for that or whatever with his old prehistoric ass. Like that thought process won't get us nowhere.
Yeah, I was talking about forgive me if his first name's wrong, but I believe it's Max Crosby on the Raiders.
Yeah, Matt Crosby, man. He's been sober, like 4 or 5 years now straight.
And he is a beast on the defense.
for sure.
Kenny, why you feel like this is an important situation and topic? I
Why
mean,
me?
because you're kind of me and Roto are kind of older, and you're kind of mid generation now. So, did you grow up where you could, or was it still in the nah? You can't say shit.
I mean, I ain't never been one to conform to social norms. If we talking about like, was it like chapter for you to talk about? I mean, nah, not really. Like, I mean, like like especially like let me say for my example specifically, like I come from a lot of people who got like high blood pressure and stuff like that. So my old boy specifically, like you don't really, share your problems too much because the more you talk about it, the more it's gonna make you like you rethinking it, you getting upset again, blah blah blah. Instead of get something for say, you actually getting it off your chest for say. And also people always talking about, well, depending on who you go to, people gonna use it against you. If you give the wrong person this information, it's just bullets in that gun for them. They're gonna shoot it at you later. That's why you gotta have your circle is very important. But as far as like like that aspect, that's one thing. But as far as like why do I think it's important personally, it's like you I'm an athlete, right? I did a lot of sports growing up, but I've always known your mental was number one. Like brain versus brawn, I ain't never been the biggest dude. Brain gonna win every time. So I mean, if your mental not right, you your body ain't it's useless. Your mental not right, you can't help nobody else. And if you do like me, I mean, you don't do things alone. So you got people around you, and now your mental not right. Whether the reason may be because again, everyone go through stuff. We all the mental, like I say, mental just like any other type of doctor. You're not a dentist. You don't know what's going on in your mouth. You might be like, yeah, I brush my teeth. But you go get that checked out every once in a while. It's same thing with your mental. You got to get that right every once in a while. Same way you get your body right. You go to the gym. You try to eat right. You got to do the same thing for your mental. It's just as important.
So can I ask you a question? We Caribbean folk.
Yeah, sir.
Yo, you ever do it yourself or hear someone, another guy talking to a Caribbean woman, mom, sister, cousin, whoever, like they kind of just start to open up, and then you can see the woman like start to tune them out, like, yo, I don't really care what you got going on, and you probably just heard what her problems is, yo, but she's like, yeah, all right, mute, like, cool with that.
So, I mean, personally, I got a little experience with that. So, when you're talking like, how's the way to put this correctly? Because I don't want to say the wrong thing. So, it's like, maybe not women specifically, but at least in my experience, like cousins, whatever the case may be, when you talk to like women, sometimes their problems could seem bigger than yours. It's like a little thing could be the biggest thing in the world, but like your things is like, well, I mean, okay, you deal with it. Like that's what you. I mean, this is what you got to deal with. I mean, I don't know, but like again, I think it's all about that perspective. I don't think again people aren't understanding of each other enough. You don't put like when you're talking to people, you don't really put yourself in them shoes. Something I personally work on a lot because again, I grew up, I was a hothead, so I'm always quick, fly off the handle, fly. I mean, got hot Latin blood, like I like to say. But you think about it, like, okay, well, what that person mean? Like, why would they say that? Why, where are they coming from? Now, again, sometimes, I still try to process that, and I process that a little quick. Well, they knew what they was doing, forget about it. They was trying to upset me, or and then they finna get the dragon. The dragon woke up. But again, you got sometimes you don't not get upset for them. You gotta do it for you because that's that repetitive cycle all those chemicals you release in your brain, all you got the good chemicals, but again, that's something you can control. Because again, just like too much dopamine, too much social media, all that stuff has reasons that's too bad. The same thing with getting upset too much. It's all about balance. It's all about a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Too much of anything is bad for you. So you got to again, passion is a good thing. I'm a very passionate person, but sometimes it could flip to the wrong side. You got to keep your emotions in check for multiple reasons, but it's not like in the sense that don't share what you got going on, keep it all bottled in. No, it's like time and place, when and where, who, and stuff like that. Again, so maybe don't not share with anybody again, but you gotta if your circle really right like that, like it should be. It should be one of the things you work towards because who you got around is very important. You should be able to have people you can share. Maybe not everything with, but you share certain parts of this with that person because they might understand for these reasons. Sharing parts of this with this other person, that might be another way to do it.
Word, because I can get on the other 10, I and live up there But you know, I got a good crew, man. I got a good crew. They'll chime in and be like, "Yo, how you doing? What's going on?" And if he even looks like I'm gonna go to 100, you know, they'll intervene because I feel like we can all get there. You know, not saying like I'm a killer or anything, but what J. Cole say, oh, everybody's a killer. All you gotta do is push him to his limits. Everybody can flip. You know that, you know, stuff inside can boil up and turn into something that it don't need to. And it's worse depending on the environment that you're in and who you have around you. What's your support system? You know, how tight is your circle? So I'm glad I got a good circle.
That's all take that. So, Rook, why is it important to you?
I mean, shit. Like I got too many people I care about, so I gotta be right. Like a lot of people lean on me heavily, and I accept that. I feel like that's a part of who I am. I was born and built to absorb and be a shoulder for everyone. So, you know, my mental state and who's around me and how that affects me is always been very important to me. And it's increasingly more important as I feel like I have this very important role in the world of my family and my friends.
I think I shared this on the previous one. Okay, I don't know if you know the story. I think you know the story. But the reason why it's important to me is I grew up old school, New York, obviously, Rook, Biggie, um, Pops didn't really have any parents. My grandma died early. His dad wasn't ever around, so Pops thought he had to be super tough. He hugged the block a little bit. Then he was, in the military, so you know how military life is, especially back then. Uh, did the war thing a couple times, so he was extra different. But we're good now, so I'm not trying to throw shade or anything. It's just trying to paint the picture. So expressing yourself was not a to go thing, which work I think was the whole reason why I picked up the pen was to express feelings because couldn't do it in the crib. So yeah, I might want to take that out. You know what I'm saying? But um, I said that to say so. Basically, I went through a rough situation where I got locked up. Then me coming out, I came out of being locked up for something that I didn't do. We can all talk about that another day. But being in jail 11 and a half months for something you didn't do is crazy. I was in a place where you were pretty much locked down, I would say 18 hours a day, something like that. So imagine that. Finally got out to find out my parents are divorced. And then the only dude that I knew at the time that was my best friend got murdered. So my shit was all crazy. Couldn't really tell anyone. I couldn't talk about it. Um, Coming out of jail, I didn't really have no place to go. So I was somewhat homeless. So buddy almost lost himself. So, had a gun, thought about it, was about to do it. Something, whether you believe in Jesus, whether you believe in whatever, Buddha, whoever, said, don't do it. You can't come back from this. So put it down, didn't do it, went through it, and then told myself from that day on, which you guys might pick up sometimes, this is why I'm very nonchalant. Because I told myself, like, at that particular moment, I was like, I would never be that stressed or dark again. Like, I was like super, super, super dark. Like, my writing reflected, I used to write my mom poems, like in the super dark thing about death and all that shit. It was just wild. So, that's why it's important because I didn't really have anyone to talk to about this is what I'm going through. And music was my outlet because of that. So I ended up writing music, writing albums. Music was my therapy, and then we pulled through it. But you know that's why it's important to me because you never know what someone's going through, and we weren't really allowed to have those conversations then. Now we're starting to accept and encourage people to have those conversations, and hopefully, if anyone heard this, then it helps you if that's where you're at. But
Mhm. Penny's in here with me though. So some of that nonchalantness done turned into full-fledged asshole. Ain't that right, Ken?
Yeah. Sometimes,
I
sometimes.
it's a mix of fucking Tony Stark and Deadpool comes out of this dude's mouth.
That's a fair point.
I did Tony Stark because he got money. We trying to get to the bag, but that's why it's important to me. So that's why we're making this episode. So for anyone that watches, because you guys we do gems here, and so far y'all ain't catching the wave right now. But it's all good. Y'all can get there. But we want y'all to be encouraged and know that it's cool to have these conversations with people. You know what I mean? And if you're feeling like you're going through something and you need someone there, you could hit me up on social. You know what I mean? Hit me up on the YouTube comment. Let's have a conversation. Like I want to take you off that ledge. Anyone have a story they want to share or no?
We did we ask Kenny though?
No, he was the first one.
First. You ever had somebody ask you?
I said that liquor was gonna hit quick, didn't I?
Nah, it just didn't feel the same way in transition. But cool. You ever have somebody ask you, like, if everybody leans on you, who do you lean on? Because the first time I was asked that question, I didn't know how to answer it. Like it was just funny to me. I laughed. I said me, because not on some crazy shit, but I talk to me all the damn time. If it's a conversation I'm gonna have in the future, or it's something that's just heavily on my mind, I'm like, yo, I get these thoughts in the air, and like take some time away from everybody and freaking reflect. So my mind is right. It's me. Like, you gotta be in that temple, be in that space. Meditation has been really good to me. It's nice. It's nice to become more one with yourself. Because again, people depend on you. People care.
It's one of my kids do that, but I've never talked to myself.
Oh man, you gotta consult the realest person you know, hence yourself. That's what I do.
He's gonna have an epiphany when he talks to himself.
I mean, I don't talk to myself like all day long.
You might not be in the podcast no more. It might be 30 minutes.
He gonna just turn the camera on. That's ridiculous. So I mean, when I don't really talk to myself like all day long, like I really do. But what I did start recently doing, because like time's been a little rough, let's say, especially the past year. So like, one of the things I do, I don't. It's not even journaling per se, but I get a notebook out and I write like things. It's just on my mind, whether things I thought about, things I think I need to do, what I think will help me when I feel certain ways, certain days. You just write it down, and you go back to it, because sometimes, I mean, especially if you smoke like I do, things, you think of things and they'd be good things. Oh man, I swear I'd have been rich 10,000 times by now, but you just lose them. Like, I promise you, and you think, and sometimes. I did a quick little. I got some friends who got a little PhDs. I did a quick little therapy sessions. I know a little thing here too. Sometimes those things, forgetting those things, actually can cause you emotional distress, because your brain knows you had something good. That's why you thought of it, and obviously things happen. Your brain, there's so much triggers in the world. There's so many things. You got so much sensations. You're doing so many things, especially again with the social media these days. Your phone's always in your hand. It's always going off, always releasing some more dopamine into your brain. You forget stuff, and your brain's like, well, you need to get that back. And how do you get it back? Well, if it's gone, it's gone. So the thing is, I do, sometimes, and I got a little tiny book and I got a regular one, the tiny one, so I can write stuff right away when I'm at work. Obviously, I can't put out this whole notebook and start. But I got a little tiny thing. Oh, I did this couple words that'll trigger the thing back. I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. And that's actually how, again, I got a little gambling tip. That's how I make some of the things, like, yesterday, Bryce Harper's birthday. I didn't know that. I heard it pop up and I was at work. I'm like, I ain't gonna remember that later. And right before I went to go play the game, I'm like, oh, let me put that in. I put a little $5, made a little $25, a little quick. This is just like that. But again, regular Kenny, before I decided to, I would have forgot that.
You see, you don't have nobody in the group chat like, yo, I want y'all to know you might want to drop 5, because I'm gonna drop 5. You know what I'm saying? You don't ever want nobody to get the bag.
Okay. This underground smoke is different. But
I tried to warn him.
Son, anything that's gonna get me the bag? All right, so quick question. When you guys feel depressed, I asked Kenny, then you, Rook. When you guys feel depressed, are you guys afraid, ashamed, prideful, to text someone like a brother or whoever and be like, "This is what I'm going through," or do you guys send that text like, "Yo, this is what I'm going through"?
It's probably a little bit of that old school. It's like, well, I mean, they ain't you ain't finna fix it. What I'm gonna complain to you for? I mean, it's mostly that really. Like personally, I mean, before like since we dropping a lot of gems here, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Before this year, when my best friend got murdered, before that, most of the things I was ever upset about was either like how I'm gonna catch up to him or just catch up to any of my friends. Him in particular, because he was the most baller, if I'm be honest. But any of my friends who are either my age or a little bit older, sometimes I feel unaccomplished. That's always been my biggest deal up until now. I got other issues now that he didn't been murdered. I got trust issues and different stuff. But before, so a lot of times, like, well, you feel unaccomplished. I mean, the only person holding you back is you. How you gonna get there? What you finna do? And you wake up and you just go and get it. That's why I started boxing. It's like, I felt like, hey, I used to play football, did all these sports. I don't even work out no more. You got to fix that. I took back boxing because I used to box before. Stuff like that. You got to give yourself things that again, like you said, what's your thing of harm, and that's always been my thing is accomplishment. So you give your things to accomplish is what I did.
Man, I gotta co-sign that shit. Like, I was for a little while I was posting my bicycle rides to and from work every day on my stories. If I'm tired, I don't care. We had that heat wave, that whole heat wave I rode to and from. It rained, it was pouring. I rode 7.5 miles home under a waterfall. I ain't give a fuck. It's always that physical challenge is also a mental challenge. That's sports. That's life. That mental challenge. If you lose that, you lose the whole game. So I'm in my head all the time. That ride home is therapy. That ride home on the train, bus. If I'm sitting in the back of the car, it's therapy because I need that time to take back to reflect on myself, on decisions. But if I'm feeling down too, I gotta reflect because it can come out another way. I get hot. I get real hot. And I'm glad I got friends to call that I can talk to about that shit because I want war if I feel like I lost, if I feel down. I want a pound of flesh after that. And that helped me in the gym. I put that energy into the gym and the results come from that, from any self-doubt, doubt from other people, or just a tough situation that I'm in. I put that shit into something productive, and it works out for the better all the time. And I like to write, but only certain people get to see that. Maybe one day more people will see, like, what goes on in there. I hear good things, but just expressing myself that way makes everything better.
think I think I do more asking than telling. Like I think I ask my people more, like what y'all going through, especially if y'all somewhat vocalize like what's going on, then I'll like go in because I don't really like to pry in people's business. But like if you kind of open the door, then like send text and be like, yo, y'all good, y'all want to talk, y'all want to vent, whatever. But I think I do that more than texting y'all like, yo, I'm just like mad stressed right now. Like shit is wild right now. I think I might have did that once to Rook, and it's probably like a year ago. But I was upset about a lot of shit, and I was about to spaz, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta talk." But yeah, I think I ask a lot more than I tell people because I think it's a little bit of what Kenny said. It's the which we shouldn't do because obviously I'm the one saying we should talk to people, but I think it's what you said. It's more like what Kenny gonna do, like how you gonna fix what I'm doing right now. But yeah,
You never know. That conversation might
That's
might bring
facts.
clarity.
no, it makes sense. Yeah, that's what
No,
I'm
it's
saying.
funny. I was just about to ask you, Chance, when you said that, like sometimes because I'm pretty similar in the sense that I ask a lot of people. Maybe not even ask. I don't even do too much asking. Honestly, I know a lot of my friends just know that I'm like the kind of person you could come to for stuff like that. And I think for a long time, like them vocalizing to me and being able to share it with them, whatever I think, whether it be advice or just my opinion on whatever the situation may be. That used to help me a lot because, like, I mean, they don't know it sometimes, but their situation might be not too far from something that I'm also feeling, or just or whatever it is. Just talking to them like, okay, I just gave them a solution, but hey, that solution would be too dissimilar to a solution to this thing I'm going through. So that's why for a long time I actually didn't need to tell other people what I was going through too much because I mean I was kind of solving my problems by helping them with their problems. So and it's not like they wouldn't have listened the same way I was listening for them. I just by talking to them, I didn't need to ask them or reach out, or at least at the time I might have not thought. Because it's funny thing is because you just asked how we feel when we depressed. When I was younger, I didn't really get sad. I was just mad about stuff. I was just like that was just some bothered me. If I was sad for even just a little bit, it pissed me off. Like it was just like what like you just had. How do you fix this? And because that things need solutions. That's always been me. Something's wrong. There's a solution somewhere. Where's the solution? How could I get it? What's in my way? And how do I get it out of the way? Like Rook said, that pound of flesh. That's what you want. And for a long time, that was a positive solution until sometimes you bottling that up still because again you're not letting it out properly, and it rises. It rises.
Another thing that might help someone that might be listening that's in this position with me. I think at times, I mean, I'm not that much older than Rook, but well, actually, yeah, because I think Kenny, you're younger than Rook, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, even though I don't know if it's warranted or not with y'all, but I feel like I'm the big bro. So I feel like I'm supposed to listen to y'all. I'm supposed to give you jewels of and keys of shit that I've been through and I went through. I feel like I'm not supposed to tell y'all I'm going through shit because I'm the big bro. Like, why would I be going through shit? I'm supposed to have it all figured out. So I think that's the like dilemma that I go through sometimes. Like, nah, I'm big bro. Like, I can't tell little bros that I'm feeling some shit.
Nah, big bro's supposed to have somebody else for that. If little bros, because I'm a special little bro, can't deal with that. But yeah, I feel you on that. That's what I'm saying. They ask me like if I'm leaning on you, if we all lean on you, who do you lean on? Yeah, it's me mostly, but I got people where I'm like, yo, this is how I'm feeling right now. I could bounce those thoughts off of them and get clarity and stuff like that and try to be solution based oriented. But like you said, you got this younger group around you. You're trying to give them more jewels than problems. You don't want them to think about your problems while they think about theirs. You want them to be more focused. So when they get to where you at, they're in a better space.
Yeah,
I think for me, part of it goes back to you gotta be a pretty good judge of character to me. You know why I say that? Because when I look at it, is reason why is I have a diverse circle, and when I say that is all my friends probably, I mean, not even probably, for sure, can't hang out together. Whether that be because they won't get along, different ideologies, just several different reasons. But again, in certain groups, I'm more big bro than little bro. In other groups, I'm more listener than talker. That's again, you don't want to have too many people around because again, like I say, you got those trust issues. But if you have a diverse enough group, different people you go to for different stuff, that feeling. If you go around the people where you feel like you can open up more because you feel like they might have more solutions than needing answers from you, then you're able to talk maybe a little bit more. So it's not a slight against those people that feel like your little bros. It's just that you there for them. Now you need somebody there for you, like Rook said. Because again, yeah, you can depend on yourself a lot. I do a lot on myself, but again, you can't learn from trees. What did I hear today? Is trees don't hang around the grass even though they came from the same place. They all from the dirt.
you can only get. You can only get
I like that one. I see. I wrote that one down somewhere because I thought I was gonna forget it. I didn't forget it this time, but usually I forget those. But yeah, that's a real good one. I like that one. So yeah, so stuff. I mean, again, I said talk about especially with friend groups, right? People talk about your day ones and day twos and all the different ways to look at it. The day ones are important. Where you come from, history, you can't ignore history. I mean, people try to, and that's how today's solutions have today's problems because we ignored the problem back then, blah, blah, blah. And we can look at the world literally right now, or turn on the news, literally what I'm talking about, that could have been solved if people would have read some history. So again, that's just the world. So you can't see the future without the past. So again, don't just again, but at the same time, growth. Don't be slow. We did it like this back then. Growth is important. Change happens. Change ain't a bad thing all the time. Yes, you You want to the old way worked. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I understand that. But there's a lot of different ways to was to skin a dead animal, so to speak. It's not just one way.
My man got analogies all day right now, so that's what we do here.
Dropping them. There's little
And
shorts.
a very big key. I mean, I know we're talking about being there for people and having each other's back, but with growth being said, you also got to know when to let certain people go.
Oh, very important.
I had to learn that shit.
Super key.
Man.
Because some people will.
I think that's part of the hardest part. Because again, sometimes you get to that stage. I mean, I think I had this problem at least at one point. You get to that stage where it's like, yeah, definitely gotta let people on. You start cutting off, sometimes the wrong people. You go back to like I said with that strong judge of character. You got to know, hey, this person, okay, why, what is our relationship exactly? Again, there's nothing wrong with having friendships that are just for entertainment purposes or whatever the case may be. Again, there are different things, but if that's all you're doing now, are you going out with that person? You're just spending money. And there's no positive, there's none of it's just vibes, and y'all can't talk about nothing positive. It's always like, oh, where the bitch is at, blah, blah, blah. And then you got your girl, especially in my case, your girl at home, you got all this other stuff, and you like, oh, well, we just not on the same vibe no more.
I'm about to clip that up where the bitch is at. You already know.
Hey, it's cool with me. I said what I said.
All right, so
see, I'm glad I'm a high nigga pie, so I need more friends around that's like, yo, where's the cookies and shit? I gotta
tell you, like, nobody cooking today. I need the cooking friends right now. I don't need to go in the club friends. I don't. It's Tuesday. I want some food.
I need the cooking friends, the business friends, the gym friends. Thanks. That's what I need. Get your mind right, friends. All right, so to put it all in the summary and wrap it up, I asked each one of y'all, obviously. Go Kenny first. For those who tune in, we appreciate y'all. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. What do you want them to gain from this episode, if you can sum it up? Or at least a key thing that you want to tell them, yo, just know this.
So, I mean, personally, I used to fight this one a lot. I used to fight you all who you around a lot because I didn't believe it. Because first of all, like I said, my friend group is diverse, but you realize I personally felt it. The people you're around the most, or the more common in that time, are probably people you're gonna be like more because that's where you were. It's that chameleon behavior. People go where they fit in. People like you're not gonna be hanging around a bunch of people who are nothing like you all the time. Yeah, you could fit in that group for once because you got that one thing in common, whatever the case may be. But you're not going to do so. Again, watch who you keep around, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Look around you, observe your circle. Don't just be like, oh, is this person not useful to me? Let me cut them off. I'm not saying that. I'm saying look around, observe your relationships. See who's gaining more out of the two of y'all. And maybe see why that is. Maybe sometimes you might be giving too much. They're not just taking it from you because they want to. You giving too much sometimes, So again, observe friendships, look around you. Observe relationships, because all ain't friendships, relationships. You got, acquaintances and all that good stuff.
I mean, I'll start with the friendships, man. Like I'm one to not let you in. So I've met a lot of people and I'm like, all right, cool. Like other people around me think you cool, but if I got the inkling of a feeling like
that one thing was off. I know what you mean.
You're not even getting a chance to get in the door, but that's cool to have, but I had to learn to deal with the people that I did let in the door, letting them back out the door. And that's including friends and family, because you don't get to choose your family. You get to choose your friends, but you still have to have that same approach with your family, because my ship don't do no anchors, bro. I ain't nothing stopping or holding me down. That ain't me. So I had to learn that part. The people who are already in, how to put distance between me and them, healthy distance, or just put them at bay and complete. And it is broke. Like it's not perfect. Don't want to hear it ain't broke, don't fix it. Look and see what works. And I'm sure during that time you can see what doesn't work and evolve, so we can continue to get better as time goes on.
All right, so before I end mine, because I want to end it on a serious note, we brought up the friend and the inkling thing, so now it made me think of a question. So I'm gonna say this first, and then I'll go back into the serious mode. If all three of us was that a setting, like a bar function or some shit, or whatever, something light, so where we weren't acting crazy, didn't know each other. You feel like we vibe?
It depends on music on.
See, that's why I wanted that. All right.
I would say I'm just gonna say yes because it's me. It's me.
Put that way
So
too.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I feel like some way we'd find a way to find some common ground. Like, oh shit, real cool. All right, so mine. Let's wrap it up. Give my little shout out, be yourself. You know what I'm saying? So y'all already know what it is. But what I want y'all to take from this, those of y'all watching, is seriously, if you feel alone, if you feel like there's no one that's listening to you at the particular moment, before you do anything that may be drastic, please reach out to someone. Call someone, talk to someone, and if you have no one, you have permission to hit me up on social, and I'll talk with you. But please talk to someone before you do something drastic. I'm saying, love yourself,
Things are irreversible.
because it's never coming back. You don't live twice, so be yourself.
Through the money, designer the drip. Don't got a cap on